Right.
No, that's some real shit. It's crazy because I do feel like, if there's anybody who can kind of lead a real change and renaissance into how this is thought of, I think it's you, man, because I'm seeing it. I saw Curtis King post his shit from Even. Right. What is Even?
So Even is an all-encompassing platform. Eventually, it's going to grow to an artist hub.
Are you a part of it? Or are you?
Yeah, I have equity in.
Okay, so you have equity in Even.
Yeah,
I've been seeing people post their
the very first launch of Even was my
Spotify recaps. This is what I did.
Right,
you know what
hilarious. Yeah, man. Even is an all-encompassing platform for artists. Like we just give artists the ability to monetize and sell their music if they don't have their own situation. Some artists don't have a Shopify setup or just want to have a website and all that shit. And Even makes it easy for the fans to come support and buy your music directly from you.
What's the play? So my whole thing with the third party shit, right, is we're so conditioned to play music on certain apps. So if I buy an album on Even,
it's set up just like Spotify. It's an in-app streaming.
So I'll download the Even app on my phone, right? So if purchase
web-based. It's web-based, so it's not.
So that's what y'all got to figure out.
Eventually, it'll.
Y'all got to get that because that's for fan experience purposes,
right?
That's what you want. You want to be able to be like, oh, cool, I got my Even library of all the shit I've supported.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to just press play.
And I believe he built it web-based based off like data that people were still kind of going online for specific
That's got to be the next thing.
And it's like Even was really built from the dirt a year ago. Like I just did the very first launch last year when I did 100,000 on the album. That was the first anybody's heard of it in existence. And I campaigned the whole Proud to Pay offer. But like this shit was built from the dirt. And in 1 year we've gotten Omarions and Dizzy Wrights and a bunch of major labels are on board now. Like the majors are going to Even so they can run their upcoming artists through it.
I wonder, like, because I feel like if I was an up and coming artist, I would want to have that option. Like, is that going to get worked into my deal? Where like, yo, if I want to be able to, you guys might get a cut of this, but I want to be able to sell my shit.
Right.
For maybe the first week.
I mean, a lot of artists, see, when you're going into the major system, it's so different. Because it's very hard to sell music that you don't own.
It is. Straight up. Very hard. Yeah. You got to ask permission.
Right.
Yo, can you give me some insight on like how influential Nipsey has been? Because Nipsey was kind of the first guy to do the Proud to Pay
pioneer.
thing, right?
Man,
he is a pioneer in so many ways.
Nipsey is the reason I decided to start doing Proud to Pay. And I feel like I revolutionized it another tier by doing offer base. So I started with Proud to Pay. I was riding my bike and I was like thinking about Nip's $100 album. And I was like, man, how can I do this but in a way that's conducive to my people? Because I didn't know too many niggas who would pay $100 for an album. So I was like, I'm just gonna let niggas pay whatever.
Pay what you want.
Because if I make $1 over zero, then I won.
Yeah.
Right. So I started doing Pay What You Want, and I ended up doing a live show that was Pay What You Want, and I made less than I projected, but I noticed that people don't want to pay a certain amount at the door because there's hella people around. So typically some niggas would give me a rack 100, but you don't want to do that at the door with people behind you. So I end up creating offer base. And when I started doing my backyard, I was like, let's start doing offer base because I can't set a ticket price on this experience. Like you came to the backyard.
It was
we've had shows
crazy.
with Sada there and different people come out. So it's like,
you guys
how
had
can I
Simba
say
pull
this?
Up too, right?
Man, I can't say this a $20 ticket, a $5 ticket, $30. None of that makes sense to me. So I'm like, you tell me what you think this experience is worth, and all I could do is say yes or no for this one. You feel me? And
was it hard to figure out the back end of the offer based thing? Because I've never seen like any website offer something where you could
was new. The technology was completely new. Like I got with my partner Ibrima, he created a ticketing site called What's TBA that just sold regular tickets. And when I came, I was like, man, I got this idea. I need to build a tech behind it so I could do my shows a certain way. And we just started this last year. Like I said, I did $500,000 on What's TBA offer based shows last year.
I think that's the future. If you're smart,
man, it's the present and going for exactly you, especially when you have a real live show and a real live experience. It's something like me where
and you
get to holler at me and talk to me and I'm around. Like when you know what it, eventually it gets to the point where people stop offering you low. Like people are just like, I know what I'm getting and I know what this shit is worth and what it means to me.
Yeah, like if certain artists who are like a certain level end up taking that and running with it, it's gone.
Clean up. I
even think of like a guy like, you know, you always hear a couple of names, Drake, Kendrick. Like if they ever decided to go independent, it would break the music industry.
Clean up.
Like if Drake decided to be
Clean up. Nigga, the labels are pissing their pants.
He would break the music industry forever.
Yeah.
I mean, right now there's a lot of slow work towards that.
They know that, which is why they're okay running him $250 million and plus, because they know. Like he's responsible for saving the industry at a specific time. So they know.
Yeah, like and I think of guys like The Weeknd. Like The Weeknd's team, his infrastructure that isn't the label, just his team is so on point. I'm like, yo, at what point can the label do anything but write you a fucking check?
That's eventually it gets to that point, and I honestly and truly feel like I'm getting to that point now. Like after this run I'm about to have in 2024, at this point there's not much they could do. But it's even now the offers I get is like, you can only run a check, in which you should want to. When you see a nigga already got a business completely established and built, all you want to do is get a cut, because you don't have to do nothing.
You don't have to do anything.
It's
they
like
built
if I came to you and said, "Oh, you got a pizza spot? Let me just give you some bread and give me a percent every
Definitely
month."
not.
That's a win.
Definitely don't have a pizza spot officially, publicly, but maybe soon. It'll be announced on my Instagram.
That was like a random, you know.
I do have a nightclub that's very successful in Scottsdale.
I seen that.
Yeah. Shout out to my business partners. Perfect example.
Hey, man.
We try to get people to invest. It's just three of us. And everybody who said no within the first month were like, hey, can we get in? And I'm like, fuck no.
Right?
Like, once we had Cardi B and Meek Mill and everybody's like, yo, man, look, if you guys still need a second phase of money, I'm like, nah, we're good now. Like,
everybody don't see it.
And that is the main thing I think that you're a testament of, bro, is because these conversations I'm telling you about that I've had with people, they don't see it and they don't get it, and they're oblivious to, like, all you got to do is see it. That's all. And people are, you know, if you believe in what you're doing and you're sure of it, and you got good people around you who aren't yes men, fuck if somebody who don't, like, fuck what some A&R thinks. Fuck what some label executive thinks. Like, man, and make them see your vision.
It'd be tough. Because,
and that's easier said than done.
Right?
That's easier said than done.
Man, it's tough to stay down, because you get offered these sums and you want to go, but you really got to stick to, like...
And you got to have a work ethic. The other thing is, major label might be for you if you're lazy.
Yeah. I think the majors...
Because your work ethic is insane.
I think the majors are necessary, because there are some artists that are just insanely talented, but they don't have the care or desire to do all the other shit to make sure the world
get their hands really dirty.
I think the labels are necessary, even for a nigga like me. Like, if we find the right label with the right deal, I'm gone, because I'm already gone. It's like, I'm not on a major, and I'm on every major platform, and niggas know
it's got to be the right deal, though.
That's it.